Today, we bring you a story of resilience, heartbreak, and the remarkable life of Steve Harvey, known to millions as a beloved comedian, talk show host, and game show personality. Steve Harvey's life was filled with laughter and triumph, but behind the scenes, he fought a silent and devastating battle. In 2021, Steve received a life-changing diagnosis of diabetes, a condition that would eventually lead to a series of tragic health complications. What followed was a harrowing journey that took a toll on both his body and spirit, culminating in a heartbreaking ending that left fans around the world mourning the loss of an icon. Join us as we uncover the untold story of Steve Harvey's final years, a story of courage, faith, and the relentless fight against a disease that showed no mercy. In 2021, Steve Harvey's world shifted dramatically when doctors diagnosed him with diabetes. He knew he was facing a lifelong battle. For a man who had always been the epitome of energy and charisma, the diagnosis was a stark reminder of human vulnerability. Diabetes, a condition that impacts millions globally, would come to define Steve's daily life, introducing a new layer of challenges and sacrifices that he hadn't anticipated. Steve, who had built a career bringing joy and laughter to others, now had to manage the demands of his own health. Diabetes isn't just a singular illness, it's a condition that affects various aspects of the body, often leading to heart complications, vision loss, and nerve damage if not carefully controlled. For Steve, the challenge lay not only in managing his blood sugar levels, but also in adapting to a lifestyle that required constant vigilance. Friends and family worried as Steve faced the early symptoms with a brave face, determined not to let the diagnosis slow him down. By 2023, the effects of diabetes were becoming increasingly severe. Early that year, Steve was hospitalized after experiencing respiratory issues, congestive heart failure, and extreme exhaustion. This brief hospital stay sent waves of concern through his fans and the entertainment industry as people realized the extent to which diabetes was impacting his life. Steve had always been resilient, pushing forward no matter what challenges he faced, but this hospitalization highlighted just how serious his condition had become. Despite the gravity of his health issues, Steve was committed to returning to his work and his fans. He had always viewed himself as someone with a purpose, a man who brought people together with laughter and wisdom. Yet the signs were clear that his body was struggling, and his loved ones grew increasingly worried as he continued to work tirelessly in the face of his growing health challenges. As the months went on, Steve's diabetes began to take an even more devastating toll. Early in 2024, he faced a difficult decision. Due to the advanced progression of his diabetes, Steve underwent a life-altering surgery that resulted in the amputation of both legs below the knee. The impact was catastrophic, not just physically, but emotionally. Steve's entire life and career had been built on his presence, his ability to connect with audiences through his humor and energy. Now, he was faced with a reality he could never have imagined. The news of Steve's surgery stunned the world. Fans and colleagues alike were heartbroken as they learned of the physical toll the illness had taken on him. He had not only lost his mobility, but his vision had also begun to deteriorate, affected by the disease in ways that seemed relentless. For someone who had spent a lifetime in the spotlight, these challenges were deeply personal, stripping away the very tools that had made him who he was. Yet, through it all, Steve continued to display a quiet strength, refusing to let his spirit be defeated. When news of Steve's surgery and health complications spread, the world was in shock. Steve Harvey had always been larger than life, a figure who seemed untouchable. To see him endure such hardship was a painful reminder of the ravages of diabetes, a disease that affects millions worldwide. Social media exploded with messages of support, love, and prayers for his recovery. Fans shared memories of how Steve had touched their lives, expressing hope that he could find some relief from his suffering. Celebrities and colleagues reached out as well, many of whom had worked closely with Steve and knew his incredible work ethic and dedication. The outpouring of support was a testament to the impact Steve had made throughout his career. For fans and friends alike, this was a sobering moment. a reminder of the resilience he had shown even in the face of unimaginable adversity. But tragedy struck again on November 16, 2024. Steve Harvey, the man who had inspired millions and brought joy to audiences around the world, passed away at his home after suffering a massive stroke. He was only 67 years old. The news of his death rippled across the globe, sending fans and the entertainment world into mourning. For many, the loss felt personal, as though they had lost a friend, a mentor, and a source of laughter and wisdom. Fans took to social media to express their sorrow, sharing their favorite moments from Steve's shows and reflecting on the joy he had brought into their lives. His passing was a profound loss, not just for those who knew him personally, but for the millions who had come to see him as a familiar, comforting presence. Steve Harvey's death was a reminder of the fragility of life and the toll that health struggles can take, even on those who seem unbreakable. Following his passing, Steve Harvey's family held a private and intimate funeral to honor his life. The ceremony, attended by family and close friends, was a solemn tribute to a man who had given so much to the world. The choice to keep the funeral private reflected the family's desire to celebrate Steve's life without the spectacle of media attention. His loved ones gathered to share memories, reflecting on the legacy he had built and the joy he had spread throughout his life. In a heartfelt gesture, Steve was laid to rest at Englewood Park Cemetery in Englewood, California, a peaceful resting place befitting his legacy. Friends and family shared stories that captured the essence of who Steve was, a man who, despite facing immense challenges, remained committed to his purpose of bringing light and laughter to others. It was a fitting farewell for a man who had lived his life with authenticity, resilience, and grace. Steve Harvey's journey to fame was filled with struggles, sacrifices, and hard work. Raised in poverty, Steve grew up in a small, run-down neighborhood. His childhood was marked by hardship, but these experiences shaped his drive to succeed. Steve often spoke about how the challenges he faced growing up motivated him to pursue his dreams relentlessly. He shared stories of how his family, unable to afford holiday decorations, would drive to wealthier neighborhoods to admire the Christmas lights. One childhood memory stayed with him: the sight of a house with a grand driveway and festive decorations. When he asked his father why they didn't have a house like that, his father told him that if he worked hard, he could have one someday. This moment inspired Steve to dream big, and he made a promise to himself that one day he would own a home with a grand driveway and a large Christmas tree. Over the years, he kept that promise, using his success to fulfill the dreams he had once only imagined. By 2023, Steve's net worth had reached an impressive $200 million, a testament to his dedication and perseverance. Steve Harvey's life wasn't just about fame or fortune, it was a story of faith and determination. Throughout his career, he often spoke about the importance of keeping God at the center of his life and working hard to achieve his dreams. He believed that success was not only about talent, but also about discipline, resilience, and gratitude. His journey from a struggling comedian to a beloved television host inspired countless fans, showing them that anything is possible with hard work and faith. His life lessons extended far beyond entertainment. Through his words and actions, Steve taught people to believe in themselves, to face adversity with courage, and to never give up on their dreams. Even in the face of his health battles, Steve remained committed to his purpose, inspiring those around him to live with passion and resilience. Steve Harvey's impact on pop culture is immense. Over the years, he became a beloved figure, someone audiences could trust to bring humor, wisdom, and joy into their lives. His shows, his words, and his unique ability to connect with people made him a household name, and his legacy will continue to influence and inspire future generations. As we say goodbye to Steve Harvey, let us remember the values he stood for: resilience, faith, and determination. He showed us that dreams are worth fighting for, that hardships can be overcome, and that laughter is one of the greatest gifts we can give. Steve Harvey may be gone, but his legacy lives on in the hearts of those who admired him, and his spirit will continue to inspire for years to come. Thank you, Steve, for the laughter, the wisdom, and the joy. Rest in peace. You will be deeply missed but never forgotten.